West Side 83, Gangster Crips are a predominantly African-American street gang, founded during the mid-1970s as a splinter gang off the original West Side Crips, that included Stanley Tookie Williams, Big Bob the Hawk, Melvin Farmer, Judson Beckett, Angelo Barefoot Pookie White and Mad Dog. Kody "Monster" Scott, aka Saniaka Shocker, a member of this gang, wrote a popular autobiography entitled An Autobiography of an LA Gangs Member while he was in prison during the late 1980s and early 1990s, and in 2006 the rights to his book were sold and adopted into a screenplay. According to Shocker's book, an OG named Big Sidewinder was the founder who created this neighborhood, which was a split-off from the West Side Crips, p. 80. The gang started on 83rd Street but span north and south, stretching from roughly Gage to Century, covering over 40 city blocks similar to the old boundaries of the West Side Crips. Over the years, they formed several sub-cliques including the original South Side, Deep South Side, Back West Side, Far West Side and Nutty North Side. A section of their turf extends west past Western Avenue where St. Andrews Park is located. Scott has appeared on Bet, 20th Century, and 60 Minutes, and several other programs and magazines discussing his experiences in the 8-Tray Crips, addressing the gang situation in Los Angeles. His younger brother, Kershawn Lil Monster Scott, has been a part of the Peace movement and was involved in the gang truce of 1992. Monster, B. 1963, was named to the top 10 most wanted gang members February 7, 2007, and was arrested on March 7, 2007 for assault and carjacking. Because of his popularity, the city of LA made a political decision to place Scott on the list above other gang members wanted for murder. According to the LAPD press release, March 8, 2007, Scott was identified on the 7600 block of Brighton Street by a tipster and was later apprehended. The LAPD also stated that Scott had been in and out of prison for 26 years of his life and that he was the self-proclaimed founder of the 8-Tray Gangster Crips. Lil Monster appeared in the HBO documentary, Bastards of the Party, 2005. Because of the media popularity of this gang, it is one of the most reported Los Angeles-based Crip gangs in the United States, having been identified in Denver, Co., Aurora, Co., Hennepin, Minnesota, Harris County, DX, Wichita, KS, St. Louis, Mo, Albuquerque, NM, and Portland, OR. These other gangs are not connected to Los Angeles and are not part of a national network. Youth from these cities have adapted this identity because of its popularity. The Rollin 60s Crips are their main rivals, and this conflict goes back to 1979. It is one of the biggest and most fierce rivalries between any two gangs in the county. Although there have been some new conflict during the 21st century that has been extremely violent, such as the Bloodstone Villain vs Pueblos Bloods and the East Coast Crips vs Florence, the conflict between the 60s and 83s are among two of the largest gangs in Los Angeles and has existed for over 30 years unabated. Lil Crypto talks about growing up in ETG Hood from the Far West Side, 2014. Lil Crypto talks about growing up in ETG Hood from the Far West Side, 2014. The rivalry between the Rollin 60s and 8-Trays has become a rivalry between N-Hood Crips and Gangster Crips, which extends the conflict from the two gangs into a regional one. This rivalry is discussed in Scott's book Autobiography of an LA Gang Member and Donald Bakir's book, Crips. Thus far, a truce or a ceasefire between these two sets has not been implemented, but if possible a truce between all Gangster Crip sets that fall under the 8-Trays, and the N-Hood sets which fall under the Rollin 60s would be revolutionary. The ETG are also rivals to all Rollin Zeros gangs, which would include the Rollin 40s, Rollin 30s and the Rollin 90s. Their rivalry neighborhood or NH gangs included the 67 Neighborhood Crips, 67 NHC, located on the north side of their territory. They are rivals to all blood gangs, but their main blood rivalry is with the Inglewood family gang, IFG, located to the west of their territory, but it must be noted that their rivalry with the Rollin 60s Crips is stronger than with any blood gang. The IFGs are attributed for the first ETG Casualty, autobiography of an LA gang member, p. 28, which predates their rivalry with the 60s, 1979. Their Crip rivalries include, Rollin 30s, 40NH, 55NH, 57NH, 58NH, 60NH, 67NH, 90NH, 100NH, NH103 HTHC, 111NH, 112NH, 115NH, Underground Crips, BCG, Menlo Crips, Budlong Crips, Gear Gang, 99 Mafia Crips, and 87 Gangsta Crips.